All right, lesson 3. Let's go ahead and solve multi-step equations. All right, let's see what we got here. Distribute initially. You don't always have to do it, but you can always do it, and it doesn't hurt anything. After that, combine like terms. Don't cross the equal sign at this point unless there are variables on both sides, but we will get to that in a second. And then it'll be a two-step equation. Follow the steps for solving them. All right, so that's what I was reading, that little box. So there's an example typed out for you, and I'll do the second one. So we'll go ahead and distribute. So negative 3y, negative 3 times 10, so negative 30. All right, I don't know why my pen's skipping like that, but it is. Okay, it's a two-step equation at this point. Opposite of negative 30 is to add 30. There we go. Do it to both sides. As we discussed, we're actually doing the inverse property and identity property. The inverse of negative 30 is positive 30. That gives you 0. And then negative 3y plus 0 is negative 3y per the identity property. Negative 9 plus 30 is positive 21. All right, divide both sides. So we're doing more properties here, guys. Dividing is multiplying by 1 over negative 3, which is the inverse of negative 3. So that's your inverse property. This turns into 1. And then 1y is just y per the identity property for multiplication, thus leaving us our final answer. Y is equal to negative 7. Plug it back in to verify. So negative 7 plus 10 will be 3 times negative 3. Yep, that does check out. There's the first example. All right, next example. There's nothing to distribute. There are no parentheses. So we'll go to the next step. Let's combine like terms. So for here, we got 2 minus 8. We're going to put those together. Back. Let's go ahead and change this to plus negative. And let's switch it with 5y. So we're actually doing a commutative property by switching those two. For addition, so it has to be addition. So minus 8 has to become plus negative 8. All right. So 2 and negative 8 is negative 6. We'll add 6 to both sides using the properties I stated above, but here's a short way of doing it. Turns into 0 there. And then we'll divide by 5. All right. What we are left with is y equals 13 over 5. It doesn't reduce. You can leave it as such. Plug that back in to verify. 13 minus 8 is 5 plus, yep, and that checks out. All right, number 3, we have some distributing to do. Change colors. 1/3 times y, 1/3 times 9. So there's our distributive property. 1/3 times 9 is 3. There's no like terms to combine, so let's apply the inverse to positive 3, which is negative 3. So that's the inverse property, resulting in 0. 1/3 y plus 0 is 1/3 y per the identity property. Negative 17 minus 3 is going to be negative 20. All right, so 1/3 times y. If you want to get rid of it, apply its inverse, flip it. So we're going to go ahead and multiply by 3, or 3 over 1. So times 3 times 3. 1/3 times 3 is 1. 1y is just y per the identity property. Negative 60 is the result. Verify this. Negative 51. Yep, that checks out. Let's keep going. All right, decimals. So nothing to distribute. So let's combine like terms. 3.4. Let's put the 3 and the 1.2 together. So that's commutative property that lets you switch these two. So that's 4.2. All right, and we can finish this off. It's a two-step equation, minus 4.2 minus 4.2. Inverse turns that into 0. 0 minus 2x is negative 2x per the identity property. 3.4 minus 4.2, so that's looking like 0.8. Subtract them, 4.2 minus 3.4. The larger one was negative, so negative 0.8. Yep. And let's divide. So times negative 1/2, or dividing by 2, per the negative 2, per the inverse property of multiplication. That turns into 1x, and 1x is just x, per the identity property. We're looking at 0.4 for our final answer. I can plug that in to verify. 0.8. Yep, and that's going to check out. All right, quite a few more examples. I'm going to go a little quicker because there's quite a bit. So let's go ahead and distribute here. Get the pen back on. So we'll distribute and distribute. Negative 8x plus 6 equals to 10. Minus 6 on both sides. Divide by negative 8 on both sides. Negative 1/2. Plug that in and double check. Negative 2. Yep. Number 6, nothing to distribute, but we can combine those. 3x plus 10x. Distributive property is used to combine those. We would factor out the x using the distributive property in reverse. Add the 3 and 7, just gives you 10. X times 10 is 10 times x using the commutative property. All right, more properties are utilized there. Negative 19 plus 8, negative 11. And then we'll divide by 10. So there's the answer. You can plug it back in to verify. If there's any errors, I'll go back in and add to the video. All right, number 7. So we can put those together. Negative 3x plus 5x is 2x. All right, minus 8 on both sides. Negative 43. And divide by 2. So there's the answer to that one. Does not reduce, you can leave it as such. Plug it in to verify. Number 8, distribute and distribute. Negative 1/2 times 8, half of 8. Negative 1/2 of 12, half of 12. There we go. Add 6 to both sides. 20 is equal to negative 4x. And divide by negative 4. This one we can reduce. I'm going to put it here. We can divide on both. Well, actually, we can divide it. I'm sorry. It's just negative 5. There we go. Negative 5 is the final answer. So get in to verify. Negative 40, 28, 14. Yep, that checks out. All right. Number 9. Let's see. Let's combine these. So that's going to be 4.5 plus 0.5y equals negative 4.5. All right, subtract. So we're doing PEMDAS in reverse, guys, if you're not sure at this point. Add, subtract to get rid of that. To isolate the variable with the coefficient. And then multiply, divide to get rid of this. Divided by 0.5. So we're dividing by 1/2. Just a little side note. That's the same thing as multiplying by 2. Final answer is negative 18. All right, I'm going to do 3 more examples for this video, and then we'll cut it there. So let's distribute, and distribute. 4 times 2, 4 times 11. So all of these, the variables are on one side, so we don't have to move things around. Just follow the steps. Distribute, combine like terms. 8x take away 6x is 2x. And now it's a two-step equation. Add and subtract first, so plus 44. So 2x is equal to 41. And we'll divide by 2. And there's that one. Plug it into verify. All right, 11. So again, I'm going to distribute here. So 3 times x, 3 times 2. Combine like terms, 10x. Combine more like terms. Those two can go together. Negative 3 minus 6, so it's minus 9. All right, so that's going to be minus 9 for the negative 3, take away 6. So distribute, combine like terms. Then you have a two-step equation at this point. And again, this is because there's variables only on one side. When they're on both sides, there's a few more steps, which we'll get to on the next video. 32 minus 9 is 23. Bigger one is negative. So I have negative 23 equals 10x. And divide and divide. So here's your answer. If you wanted to put that in a decimal format, it's 2.3. Dividing by 10 just moves the decimal. Alrighty. Last one. So let's distribute that 0.02, I'm sorry. So 0.02x. 2 times 20 is 40. Got 2 decimals. So it's going to be 0.40 or 0.4. I lost my pen. Minus 4.8 equals negative 9. All right, we have to combine a few terms. Going to combine those right there. So 2.3 and 0.4. That's going to result in negative 2.1. We still have, so that's these three I combined. We still have 0.02x. This one's interesting with all the decimals. It's a two-step equation. So plus 2.1 plus 2.1, whatever you do to one side, do to the other. 0.02x equals 6.9 negative. And now we will divide. You know what? Let's do something else. That's 2 over 100. That's 1/50th. We'll go ahead and divide it. That's fine. So x is negative 6.9 divided by 0.02, which you can do long division. Make sure you move the decimal, or something like this. We can plug into the calculator. Negative 345. All right. Next video, they'll be a little more complicated because we'll have x's on both sides. But that's it for this one.